The disappearing object. Imagine you're cleaning your kitchen. You place your keys on the counter right next to your wallet. You step away for just a moment, but when you return, the keys are gone. Not a trace. You check the floor, the pockets of your jacket, even under the couch cushions. No keys. It's as if they were never there. This is the disappearing object glitch. You'd think it's just a momentary lapse in memory or an unconscious act, but the sensation is unsettling. The moment something is out of place, your mind scrambles to recall it, but it's as if reality itself erased it. Some people claim that they've experienced items vanishing, keys, wallets, phones, only to reappear hours later in the most random locations. Science explains this as a simple case of forgetfulness or misplacement, but could it be something else? Could there be instances where objects are, in fact, slipping between realities? Perhaps an alternate version of you from another timeline forgot to pick up the object, leaving it behind in the wrong one. Or maybe something else is manipulating our perception, distorting our sense of ownership and memory. In 2006, a woman in London reported that her wedding ring vanished from her finger while she was asleep. She woke up to find the ring gone, but later found it beneath her pillow in the exact spot where she had been laying. Vanishing friend glitch. You're talking to your friend on the phone, discussing plans for the weekend. You hang up, send them a text, and then something odd happens. They never reply. You try calling back, but their phone goes straight to voicemail. You send another message. Nothing. You ask mutual friends, but no one has heard from them either. It's as if they never existed. This is the vanishing friend glitch. Some have theorized this could be an effect of parallel universes overlapping, where you still remember them, but in this reality, they were never there. The eeriest part? Sometimes you see them, as if for a moment they are still there, but they don't recognize you, or worse, don't seem to remember any shared experiences. In 2018, a man from Chicago suddenly lost all contact with a longtime friend. They had spoken just the night before, but after that conversation, the friend's phone went offline and all social media accounts were deleted. Weeks later, the man found out that all traces of his friend were gone, not just digitally, but in real life as well. The bending mirror glitch. You walk past a mirror in your house. You glance at your reflection. But something's off. It isn't you. The reflection in the mirror doesn't look like you. Or it's a version of yourself from a few years ago, but older. Perhaps it's just a trick of the light, but the reflection seems to behave in a way you didn't expect, mimicking your actions a moment too late or at the wrong angle. This is the bending mirror glitch. Mirrors have always been a source of fascination, and many cultures believe they can act as portals to other worlds. But what if your reflection isn't quite aligned with you? As if the mirror shows you a glimpse of yourself from another reality. A woman in Paris reported that every time she passed by her bathroom mirror, she would see a version of herself that seemed older than her actual age. At first, she thought it was just bad lighting, but after a week of the same experience, she grew unnerved. A few days later, her friend noticed that the woman's reflection in the same mirror had dark, hollow eyes, something no one had seen before. Mandela moments. You remember Looney Tunes, right? Everyone knows it's spelled Looney Tunes with 2 O's. But wait, no, it's Looney Tunes with a U instead. If you're confused, don't worry, so is everyone else. This is the Mandela effect, where thousands, even millions, of people share false memories. Some believe this could be evidence of parallel timelines, where your past timeline has a different spelling. Maybe you never really experienced Looney Tunes the way you thought. Maybe that small error is just a glitch from another world. The Mandela effect is named after Nelson Mandela, as millions of people vividly remembered his death in prison in the 1980s, even though he was released in 1990 and passed away in 2013. NPC mode. The unaware players. You're walking through a crowded street. People are everywhere. A group of friends are laughing. A couple's deep in conversation. And there's a man sitting alone on a bench staring into space. And then it happens. The man who was staring ahead doesn't blink. He's locked in place. You stop for a second, just watching. He doesn't move, not once. You continue on your way, but something feels off. Like the world is full of NPCs, non-playable characters. These are the people who seem to exist but don't quite interact with you. Their actions are mechanical, set on repeat, and they only seem to notice you when you get too close. What if some people are just running on an autopilot loop? In 2017, a man on a crowded subway in Tokyo reported seeing the same group of commuters enter and exit a train at every stop, each time saying the same exact words. It was as though they were following an invisible script. The man later described this experience as the NPC effect, sleep paralysis, the unskippable cutscene. You wake up, eyes wide open. Your room is exactly as it was when you fell asleep, but you can't move. Every muscle in your body is frozen. Your mind is alert, but your body is completely locked in place. Panic sets in as the dark shape in the corner of your room draws closer. This isn't just a bad dream. This is sleep paralysis, a glitch where your body wakes before your mind does. Some call it a demon, others an alien visitation. But what if it's just a system error, a bug in the sleep process? And why is it that millions of people around the world report seeing the same dark figure? One of the most well-documented sleep paralysis cases is from a woman in the UK who reported feeling a suffocating presence in the room, even though she was fully awake. She described a shadowy figure hovering over her, a sensation of being pinned to the bed, and the inability to speak or scream. The temporal loop. You enter a quiet bookstore. The soft rustle of pages turning, the faint aroma of coffee drifting in the air, and the sound of a distant conversation. You browse through the shelves, your fingers brushing the spines of familiar books. But then something strange happens. A voice calls your name. You freeze. You know this moment, not just recognize it. You're sure you've already lived it. The same book falls off the shelf, the same person walks by, and in 5 seconds, the phone rings. But you already know who's calling. Some scientists argue that this is just your brain playing tricks, a form of memory confusion, a glitch in your mind's ability to perceive time. But if this is truly just a memory hiccup, why does it feel so real? Some believe these are temporal loops, moments you've already experienced, but they're looping again. A glitch, a reset. If that's true, how many times have you lived this exact moment before? Like a man in New York City who was in a subway station when he realized everything around him had happened before. He even knew the exact words people would say in the next few seconds. The elevator glitch. You step into an elevator, press the button for your floor, and wait for the doors to close. But something strange happens. The elevator doesn't move. You check the button to ensure it's pressed, and it is. Yet the elevator feels stuck, as if it's frozen in time. After a moment of disorientation, you press the button again, and suddenly it moves as if nothing happened. This is the elevator glitch. Some people have reported elevators that seem to reset, as if they jumped back to an earlier point in time. Perhaps the elevator doesn't just travel vertically. What if it's also bending time in some strange way, causing a brief pause in reality? These kinds of glitches might not only suggest a malfunction of mechanical systems, but could be indicative of time shifting within the confines of a seemingly normal machine. In 2003, a woman in Toronto entered a hotel elevator, intending to go to the 5th floor. However, the elevator only seemed to go up 2 floors before halting abruptly. The door opened, and she stepped out, thinking she'd arrived. But when she checked the elevator again moments later, it was at the original ground level, suggesting she had never moved at all.